We're rolling?
Yeah. That's us rolling?
Live.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. William.
Should just both do the intros at the same time.
Yeah, we all
do you guys have a set intro on your podcast?
It's just us going, hello.
It's normally William fucking up a sponsorship.
Many sponsorships have you got now?
None, because William keeps fucking them up.
They enjoy my style of getting things wrong.
He was like, let me do it. I was like, okay, go ahead. He was like, Mudblood.
No, you called it
Manscaped.
Manblade. You called it Scape Man.
No,
you called it Manscaped.
You called it everything other than fucking what it was.
Throughout the entire podcast, you called it the wrong thing. Every time it's something different.
Because you done it wrong at the start. I was copying you.
Mickey called it Manscaped 3.0 earlier. What is it? Lawnmower 3.0? I don't know. They sponsor my podcast for fucking ever, and then I haven't heard from them. You know what I mean? I don't hear from them. They don't send shit. I just keep saying it every month, and then every once in a while they're like, "Here's a bit of money."
I was gonna say, I thought they still did. They do.
I try and lose them every week, like.
Right, and it doesn't happen.
And not in the beer as well. The beer 52, I slag it to death.
And still happening.
Like, use the code whatever, and they'll send you 8 fucking horrific
beers.
Beers. That you wouldn't.
I've farted in the bottle and I've emailed it to you here.
Like fucking quaif bubbles.
If your beer's called B52, it sounds like it's going to be a bomb, doesn't it? Let's face it. But yeah, no, fucking great to be here doing the podcast. Like, this is our 25th episode crossover. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I'm dressed like your man used to do that.
Westwood.
The most ridiculous. It was cheap. It was 15 quid.
Before he started daggering chicks. That was some of my favourite internet material. When he's like fucking at a, like Jamaican, like daggering thing. Which if you're like a 22-year-old black guy, looks quite athletic. And then Westwood would come in like a fucking, you're like a fucking White Walker, and you're like stiff, just riding these girls at like, a fucking student union somewhere. You got done for it?
Did he?
Yeah.
Like what?
They just went, you're going to jail. Stop, you're 60, stop grinding on 18-year-olds. He's like, wag one with the.
He was like Jimmy Savile from Wish.
As if Jimmy Savile's the fucking peak, like.
Pedo?
That's what you're looking. I heard today Steve Coogan's supposed to be playing him in a drama.
That'll be class.
I know.
Steve Coogan's fucking great.
He'll get a fucking what's like a Brit Oscar, an Emmy,
BAFTA.
A BAFTA. He'll get a BAFTA for it.
Yeah.
Now
Jimmy Savile would have given you a BAFTA, alright?
Can help you wash yourself in the BAFTA?
Can I bath your kids? Yeah, come on ahead, Jimmy. Far away.
Yeah. Oh my
so
God.
mental. Like when you look back, I watched the program about it. Like it's mental. Like when you actually watch. We were talking about this the other night.
Yeah.
When you watch the Jimmy Savile stuff and the way he get on, how nobody went, what the fuck?
I saw an old clip. It's not Jimmy Savile. Do you know the lead singer of the Lost Prophets?
Yeah.
It was like an old TV4 show, and he was dressed as Santa. And this is creepy as fuck. It's not even funny, but he just has like a toddler.
Yeah.
And he's like kissing it in the forehead, and the other presenter goes, "Stop kissing the baby." And he's like, "Why?" And watching it back now, I'm like, that's disturbing.
Yeah, well, he was fucking the worst of the worst because it was like babies.
Yeah. His one that's like, it's not even really funny to joke about, because then you're like, oh, it's really upsetting what he did.
Yeah, when he's like, can you send me a picture? Funnier that he's Welsh, kinda. Send me a picture of the baby.
But then he's thinking like, let's train home. Thank you for coming to the show.
What's that? Enter fucking Dragon. What's it called? Dragon Ninja. Fucking. That's a riff. Dang, 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 that tune. And everyone's got the fucking flared jeans and the chain and all. Bro, on a rooftop skating. I'm 30. You know what I mean? Go home. That's a tune though. Can play on the guitar.
That is one thing I've realised with getting older, is like people you loved as a kid and they turn out to be pedos. It's quite upsetting. Yeah. They would have loved me too. Like Drake Bell. No, from Drake and Josh.
But is that weird that actual Drake was in that show, was he? Or was that a different show?
Actual Drake was in a different show. He was in Degrassi. But like Drake Bell, no, the cool one.
Yeah.
The one you didn't think was a pedo.
I know,
he's a pedo.
When you're a child star, you've got that fucking Michael Jackson thing where like you didn't have a childhood. Now you're like, let me hang out at a fucking park here.
Aye.
But also you're a grown man with a boner. Things change.
Well, they do say do something that you love.
If do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah. I always used to joke about Rolf Harris. I used to say he's going to come out that he fingered a few cats in Animal Hospital, but fuck, he done worse than that.
A few kids in an actual hospital.
And he done something to a reporter from here in the Shankill Leisure Centre. That to me is like the worst of the worst.
I have one.
That leisure centre?
The Shackle
Don't even have a slide for fuck's
But I
sake.
mean, it's one of them ones, like, he really was up for it there. Like, he didn't give a
What the fuck was he doing there?
I've never
I don't
heard
know.
this.
Yeah,
What's
no.
this story?
Back in the 80s
I
when
don't
people
wanna
used to have like
mention-
exotic pets and all.
This is like when I mentioned that
Alligator in the pool.
I remember the fucking lottery starting and they all laugh because they can't remember. But no, one of the reporters from here, I'm not mentioning her name,
Yeah.
but he pushed her up against the wall and assaulted her in the Shankill Leisure Centre.
Fair enough.
It was like when I read the whole thing that he done, that one thing, and I went, what balls that boy had on the Shankill. Do you know what I mean? Fucking chanced his armour, like... And then when you see the reporter, you're sort of going, what the fuck was he thinking too? You know, that's the next thing. But...
Oh, not attractive. When you're used to
Frank
fingering
Mitchell.
kangaroos for the first
He
half of
was
your
in
life.
the
you
lower
think,
Shankill. Maybe he should have looked well compared to everybody else in it. I don't know.
yeah. Is this your queen?
See, it's weird for me because even all that started coming out, like, oh, this,
Pedophilia?
no, like,
What do you mean?
I mean that. Do you remember that, like, that period of time, like that year where it was like, do you remember this guy? Pedo,
Yeah.
pedo, and everyone's like, could you believe it? And I was like, all of these men look exactly like pedophiles.
Oh, well, that's the thing. As soon as you see it, you know, it's like, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Savage.
used to do that bit about it, didn't you? About Jimmy
Well,
Savile?
I did a bit
That's
about
one of your
Jimmy Savile, and then
Best bits. I love that.
and then someone did. Kevin Bridges did a bit about Jimmy Savile that was very similar. And on the one night, I got fucking bombarded with messages like, "Oh my god, he did your bit," no, and I was like, I don't know, like, but
Probably, do you think it's parallel thinking? Like, Bridge,
Dunno.
or is Bridges listening?
yeah, he's
No.
got a team of
It's
writers.
team of
who
writers, yeah.
sit at Lavery's.
Get that Bill 52. That looks fucking, looks awful.
Comes out with a fucking hat on.
Get the fuck, Thomas.
The closest thing I have that is Jerry McCord doing my bit and fucking sketchy. Do you know what I think? You win that one, Colin, like Cam Bridges or Dermot Cure and sketchy doing a bit of your stuff.
And he went straight from there to.
And he didn't even rate it. Sweden.
All right.
And he drives a bus. But it wasn't even him who wrote it.
You're the one comedian I'd never steal from because I know you'd find where I live and beat my fucking.
Liam Watson was the one that took the bit.
How do you know?
Because he asked Dermot why he done it, and he says that was Liam wrote that stand-up stuff. He wrote that, and it was a bit that I had on like YouTube. So he basically just went around everybody's stuff and changed it a wee bit.
Evil bastards.
Yeah. And he got $12.50 an hour for it too.
Man, you're. This is back 10 years when there was a bit of money in the BBC.
He's like, he got $12.50 an hour writing for me.
Now
You
they're
bastard.
like, we've got a part in this show, and it's only going to cost you £500 if you want to be in it,
Yeah.
and it's going to be on at 1:45 in the morning on a Tuesday.
And everybody will love it.
Any interest?
And you can only get it if you have a license.
I know, fucking cack. What were you saying? You remember the lottery being invented? What did you
Yeah,
say?
no, these things all laugh at
When
me
it came
whenever-
in, like,
Yeah.
I think I remember vaguely, like, I would have been
Yeah.
young, like, but
No, but you said.
I remember Sweet Chili dropping, and that was in our school. And I mean, like, this girl
It was-
Linda fucking lost her mind. Like, she ran like a wee sixth form centre, like in a mobile. Like apart, it was detached from the school, and she was like, "Fucking, what do you call your man at Forrest Gump? You got
Bubba?
the shrimp guy." She was like that with Sweet Chili. It's jack of potatoes, sweet chili, tuna sweet chili, chicken sweet chili, like just fucking
It was on everything.
across the board. I mix this one with mayo, sweet chili mayo on chips with cheese, more sweet chili,
Usually,
sweet
But
chili
I just
Fanta.
all fucking loved it. Like,
Oh yeah, couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
I don't even like it now.
yeah, because you had that much.
Too much. Second.
used to be a guy who worked in our school canteen, and I'm gonna say he's not right in the head. Right? That's just the Belfast way of going. Someone's mentally disabled.
Yeah.
But
Is that how you knew he was mentally disabled?
no, I could see his face. But I'm allowed. Right? But his prices made no fucking sense. So if
Oh,
you're
he was selling stuff.
he was the guy on the,
Oh, yeah.
the till. So it was like you're getting the burger, 160, burger and chips, 120. Throw a bottle of water in there, £4.
That's a meal deal, bro.
No, it's just he didn't know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You wanted sauce on the chips?
that woman
$2.70.
Linda I was talking about would sell like Freddos that said 15p on it and be like, that's 50p. You know what I mean? It'd be in the,
That's
it would
up to-
say the fucking price on it and she'd
Yeah.
be charging more than that.
That's
Like
that tuck shop
says,
market.
says on the tin, part of multi-pack.
Do not sell.
£4.
150. Maureen said, my wife, for your listeners, she went to some big fucking nunny school, you know what I mean, all run by nuns and whatever, and there would be a tuck shop, and if you spent more than like a certain amount, they'd have to like, they weren't serious, like, but they'd take your hand and be like, sinner, because you spent more than like 50p or something.
The closest thing that happened to us like that was...
I'd have been like, don't touch, I just had a wank, don't touch it.
the Christian, do a wee rosary or you got too many whoppers.
Is that real?
No, but...
Two refreshers, get in that box. Start praying.
I can't believe you had a packet of Wrigley's. But the Christian brother headmaster in our school was going fucking mental, right? And I remember Eric Cantona had fucking done the Kung Fu kick.
Aye.
And he went around the school taking the newspapers off everybody because everybody bought the newspaper because obviously he didn't have a phone then. We had to physically buy things to read, right? So everybody had the paper and he went around and took all them. And then the next one was he went around and took roast beef crisps off anybody or smoky bacon because it was Ice Wednesday. You were meant to be off meat.
That'd have been the one time I proper lose my fucking shit.
You're only allowed crisps if it's fish flavoured.
It was fucking ridiculous. Like I was like, no, and here was, no, it's meat. Not enough meat. No meat. And
Strange fact, Walker's crisps, there's more like animal product in the cheese and onion than there is the beef flavoured ones.
Mind blown.
Enjoy that. Fuck you, vegans. You know what I mean?
You're getting the meat belly, I want that or not?
Get it in there.
I love that fucking soundboard.
You want one of them?
I want one for
I could see
Christmas.
it in your face.
Not there, you know. A couple of more Manscaped ads.
Yeah.
A couple of bald scrotes later. That's yours, baby.
Some smooth shafts. We have got a soundboard.
You just wouldn't be anything. It would just be constantly you hitting the fucking buttons.
Every time you go to speak, boom. During like those keyboards you got in school, like dictionary, DJ. Well, you're too old.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't go to a school like that.
Remember that all-girls school you went to?
Which one?
The one dude in an all-girls school.
Really?
Yeah.
You, Eric Cantona, and a load of women?
Just myself.
Rolf Harris.
It was brilliant.
I'm sure. I had a similar experience in our college.
The only dude in it.
Just sitting there, a couple of gay dudes, a load of chicks. Me just sitting there like a beefcake.
See, I did politics in uni, so it was just me and sweaty virgins. This is why you shouldn't get benefits.
Sweaty virgins.
Where did you go to?
J-Town.
Did
Represent.
you have to get a bus there?
I drove.
Did you?
Yeah. It was sweet, sweet cock.
How long were you there for?
3 years.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
It's not, I kind of, like, we would go there. I grew up near that, but you would go to like the fucking swimming pool and play football. And I just remember going like, people come here from like England. Like, yeah, to stay here.
Yeah.
In this fucking like industrial estate.
Feel bad for the one Chinese student who
Yeah.
couldn't get into Queens, so he's been fucked off the J-Town.
Someone showed him that Visit Belfast thing, and it's all fucking, you know,
Everything.
tours and boats and shit. And then he gets there and he's just like,
What the
where
fuck?
am I?
Chernobyl?
Where the fuck? Yeah, where am I? Like,
What can you do around here? There's a
which
vending
direction
machine.
is there people? That way?
Can I go down to the seashore and smell the fucking sewers that gets pumped in it?
Imagine your uni experience being that. Like the halls of
Sure,
Georgetown.
McCann went there. McCann's first year or something, he lived there. Because I went down and
I
picked
dropped him up. I dropped him off there.
Yeah, and it just looked like you were dropping him at like the side of a fucking nuclear testing centre.
There's
And you're
not.
like, where do you live?
In that.
In there.
In the reactor there.
Uh,
Cozy as fuck.
That's
Sir.
why my head's so fucking
Remember
big.
I dropped him down, I remember that. I'm going there next year.
You're going to J-Town?
I need to finish my degree, yeah.
Imagine being in uni, hungover as fuck, and this cunt's just beside you.
I know.
Do you want to see my dagger?
You're gonna, like you did here today, just walk in, take your top off and put on the fresh fucking tracksuit top. Sorry lads, busy today.
He's in the class beside you and Kieran Bartlett's lecturing. That'd be the fucking dream uni class.
We were in the green room of the Lame Night on Saturday and I was sitting with no top on and I don't think anything about it. And Arm was just sitting in the room facing me and Jordan walked in and Arm went, I'm so glad you're here. I was freaking. He's just sitting
Poor
half
Butler
naked.
started pulling the fucking bar off himself.
I went in the back room of Lavery's and you were just standing in your boxers for some reason. Last Wednesday.
Was Mickey there?
We were just
Yeah,
out of the pisser.
That's why. Me and Mickey were doing something.
Did you tell him about the guy who got a photo with you in Lavery's?
Which one? Oh, and he thought I was Mickey?
No.
Oh, I forgot about that. The first Lavery's we done, remember me and him were on?
Yeah.
And I went in the toilet and there was a guy like overly excited because he had got a picture with you, and he was like, "It's unbelievable. Colin Geddis was just standing there like, man, I got a photo of him and all." Right, so I was standing pissing.
Just standing there pissing.
And I was
Can't believe
there.
he pisses like us.
And
Like
the
the
next
rest of us.
minute I turned around to wash my hands and he went, there's your man, Polly. Can I get a photo of you? He grabbed your man. Right, I'll take a photo. And your man's laughing his bollocks off. And I go, what are you laughing at? And when your mom went, I'm going to have to show everybody. When he went out, your mom went, you know, he had his dick out the whole time. Every photo.
You had your dick out?
No, he did.
The guy in the photos had his cock out.
Just so excited, forgot.
He just was
broke
standing.
through the
He was just standing with his arm. I didn't even know, and he had his fucking cock out. So there's a guy floating about with these photos.
Deliberately, like, or was
I don't know.
I mean, if it's who I'm thinking it was, he probably forgot this cock was out.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? He was there. It's in one of them videos. Nal took the guy's just like popped me in the back.
That's him.
Super
That's
fun.
him. Alex, exactly.
The guy was
who it is.
enthusiastic. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he was.
But I think he probably was so excited he forgot his cock was out.
He probably walked out with it. Big too.
I'm at the stage.
Lovely cock. Did he tag you in it?
For cock on him, like.
Serious pipe.
I'm at the stage. People kind of know who I am, but they don't quite know who I am. So I always get mixed up for other people. I was in a fucking bar on Saturday. I was taking piss in the toilet. Someone started murmuring, "Holy fuck, it's you, comedian boy!" And I was like, "Aye." I goes, "Fuck, I love you, McCann." Yeah, McCartney, Agney.
What? Fuck, I mean, there is a type, like, you know what I mean? If you fucking... I took a photo of all these ones the other night at Lavery's, and it's like if someone was in a movie and they needed 6 stunt doubles that were like... didn't look exactly the same, but you know what I mean?
Glasses
Just
and beards.
fucking just
It's
fellas.
like a line-up for fucking somebody that done something.
If they're like, we're shooting the thing, give me 6 fellas.
Fat fellas with
Just
glasses.
anything, nah, just lads. Like,
Comedians here are either 6'5" or 4'8". Like, there's no in between.
you know what I mean? At a glance, you're just like, that's just same fella, changed his shirt. You know what I mean? Same arms and all. A few tattoos, like fucking whatever.
It's like a culty fucking get-together.
And it's just fucking, we're all called John. But sure, even you were telling me about the gig in Antrim or something. The girl was like, "Oh my god, I want to buck you" or something. And they're like, "I can't, I'm out." You're like, "Oh, to buck him." Oh, Mickey's in a relationship, and then got to you. And you're like, what's the younger sort of vague hybrid of the two of them? I'll buck him as well. Just anyone, like, what version of this guy?
I'm coming out of the disabled toilet. You looking at it?
It's got no feeling in it.
She says, what is it? I hit me 20 odd. She says, oh.
I used to always think, like, I'd love women to be all over you. See, now after your show, sometimes when you come up to me and be like, she's looking a bit of you, and I'll go over to her and I'm like, I don't want any of this. I'm scared. I stand
That's why you
beside
need
you.
to go and get married.
Yeah. I stand beside you like, Paddy, don't let the women take me. I'm small enough they can.
There was a girl come up to me in Antrim, which was the later gig again, and she said, "You're my da." And I was like, "What?" She says, "You're my da." And I went, "Who said?" And she went, "My ma." And I went, "How does she know it's me?" And she says you used her like a puppet at a party.
I think
And
she
I-
was just waiting to use that line.
And I went over to him and I said, "Even if she is mine, I don't want to know her now."
Yeah.
Because I was just talking like that. She was raised like that. I don't want to know her.
No, I think she just had that line up her sleeve.
And then she went, "Where's my mother?" And her ma was over in the corner, just going.
But that's the second time
But I
that's
don't
happened.
know if the man was going like this. and then the other night was was the other night thing happened, and the wee lad sent me it the other night, and I was like, "This is getting fucking ridiculous."
Well,
here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Was I not telling you about it on Saturday? No, must have been.
You may have done, but you know.
Must have been Arne I was telling
dickhead.
about. There was a guy sent me a message.
Tell me, sure.
Fucking old Colin.
Brain damage, William.
Since you're arguing about it, I'll listen.
No, there's another wee guy sent me a thing and says, it's my dad. And then he was at the show the other night and he fucking posted it and says, down saying my dad, the fucking thing. And I'm going, this is getting fucking ridiculous. Like,
I think it's just become a thing now.
I'm convinced Hezbollah is your kid, like.
possible.
They're the wee Russian
Wee squeaky one.
spitting image of him, like.
Somebody's had him in Carrickfergus or something and went, give him away.
I heard a line similar to the puppet thing.
Uh-huh.
I was in town one day and it was Pride and I had no idea. I had no idea it was even on. I was like, fucking, this is a nightmare. And it was round like where like the cathedral is, round that sort of, where John Hewitt is kind of. And there was these ones, 2 gay couples, and one of them was like, we're away home here and all. And he was like, you are fucking, like stay out and drink and all that, like slagging each other. And they were getting further and further away. And they were like, no, you're fucking soft now. You can't even fucking slagging each other. And then one of the guys just goes, I'm going to take him home, wear him like an oven glove. Just when they were, you know what I mean? They were both walking away, shouting at each other. I'm taking him back to where I'm like an oven glove. I'm just in the middle, like.
Get that bit down.
Gay dudes say the filthiest shit.
Oh, they're fucking. Some of them are fucking. I mean, there's two types of gay guys. They sort of quiet, like, oh, is he gay? And then the other one where you're like, the guy just always has 3/4 of a hard on.
Predator.
Yeah, just like, it's like sweaty a wee bit, coked up. Fucking, they're gonna come soon or what? And they're just fucking groping tits at anyone, girls.
Yeah,
and all. I'm gay, don't worry about it.
The finger the birds and all.
I know so many gay guys that will like finger a wee bird, just be like, just want to see if I still have it. I'm like, what do you mean still have it?
A finger?
You're gay?
Oh, they've teeth in them things.
You probably do seem like you do still have it because it seems less threatening to be like, oh, I do this.
Yeah, because they get changed now in front of them. It's like they don't see the Emmons as like proper fellas, but then the women use the Emmons the same way. Do you know what I mean?
I've heard a few wee stories
Yeah,
like
so
that. You know what I mean?
I've heard ones like
someone
where
getting
he was doing my balls in, so I had my wee gay mate Robert down and I was just like, well, fuck me here, just to get my own back on him.
I've never heard a story like that. That's exclusively a you thing.
Is it?
Have you ever?
I've heard a very few of those.
Not that extreme, but I've heard, oh my God, we were all fucking steaming and just, going with each other and whatever,
Yeah.
Or they're like, oh, it's fun to have a fucking guy with his dick out in the room.
John.
Sorry, he's gay.
I agree with that. I'm fine with it.
So, this podcast took a weird turn.
No, not even like get your dick, just funny. Do you
Dick
remember
on the
that
tail.
story? It was going about John Barrowman. Apparently, he was like, get this dick out on set, and people were like, that's so disgusting. I'm like, I'll probably see it 9 a.m. I'm a wee bit tired. If I looked over and someone's put their cock out, I'm gonna laugh at that.
It's the funniest thing I ever seen in my life, and it took me about 45 minutes to recover from it, was playing rugby at City of Derry, and this guy, I was injured, I decided smoking. And the fire door, the changing rooms, was out the back of this building, and I was just fucking, daydreaming, looking about, and this guy goes, is there any doctors about, can take a look at this? And as I looked around, he had yanked his cheeks so far apart that I could nearly see into his body. But I fucking died laughing, just because I was so like fucking not even paying attention. I was like, fell for it, and he's just like, ball bag hanging.
It just looked like the motorway with the go guards and the
it was like the start of a Bond movie. And
There's an apple greens in it.
I lost it. Like I was killing myself.
I did. The hardest I ever made Mickey laugh was that time we were playing the football game. I did something similar. I was pretending to be hurt, and I called over Jordy. I was like, Jordy, mate, come here. You need to see this. And he came over, and I just whipped my balls out. But it was pre-Manscaped, so it was like fucking Tom Hanks and Castaway down there. I've never seen Mickey laugh so hard.
I know. I remember.
Did Jordan lick his lips?
No, he licked mine.
He was saying he went down to some comedian's football match, and he's like, man, I was tired after the warm-up. And I was like, yeah, what were you expecting?
Who's this, Jordan?
Yeah, like he goes, I've still got it from when I was 9. That guy abuses that new heart, let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's like George Best with a new liver. He's like, is that
That's what I
sweet
said
to
to
go?
him. That's what I said to him. Everyone else would be like, this is a second chance, thank you, God. And he's like, nah, blank slate.
Let's see if we can fuck this one up quicker.
Blank canvas.
Like Roy Castles when he got cancer. He says you've got a year to live, and he went, I'll do it in 6 months.
He just worked in a bar all his life. He didn't even smoke.
Oh, he was a trumpet player or something, wasn't he? Isn't that what it was?
Are we talking about Geordie or Roy Castles?
No, Roy
I don't
Castles.
know
Roy
who he is.
Castles.
Roy Castles was a trumpet and a tap dancer or something, so he worked in bars, the entertainment. He got all the smoke. It was all secondary smoke.
Cigar and
Shout out to Geordie Robinson there.
Shout out to Geordie, enjoy them balls. I remember we went to Rathlin to do a gig, and we stayed and got absolutely fucking hammered, like. And the next morning, everyone was just poisoned, like. And I got up dead early. I think I was the first one up. Shane probably got up for a run, and I got up. And I was walking through the house, and I was like, "Oh my god, fucking!" I wasn't sure if there was other people staying in this hostel or not. And all I heard was the fucking bathroom door creak open, and I didn't want to be like. I knew there was other people on the other side of this house thing. I didn't want to be like, who's that there? And I sort of like casually was like, hey, it's crack. Looked around. Dave's just standing there. Wee grey dick through the door.
We grey?
Wee grey fucking. His dick looked like it died, 2 weeks before.
Like E.T. when he's sick. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. E.T.'s finger when he's sick.
I know you were being a wee bit thing for Dave, or like E.T.'s a queer face, I can't. So did Dave have a big fat one at the base?
It's a long thin shaft and it goes up like that.
And then a big fucking hammerhead on it. I used to get mine out so much, the comedians. I think you mentioned it on the podcast one time and I went, right, I think I have to stop. I think I have a problem here. I was in London and listened to it in work because all I done was listen to it.
Sitting on the subway with your dick out?
It was him and Mickey on the podcast. And he's going like, yeah, it's getting a bit... I've seen it that many times. It's getting...
I've never... Because when I started stand-up, I was too young for you to be putting your dick out in front of me. So
you were 17?
Yeah.
Times have changed.
I know. So I need to see it. I haven't seen it.
Have you not?
I've never seen
You're probably you and Jordan, I suppose, the younger generation.
See, times we don't put our
the young
out
lads
anymore.
The young lads, yeah. It's a different generation.
But it's still, you know, if your dick's been out this long time, it's not as much of a novelty. Like if someone just if Shane pulled his dick out and started showing people, he'd be in jail. You've put in the background work where it's Paddy pulls his dick out.
What hard started was stopping in motorways on the way back from Strabane and fucking Oma, and I would open the door having a piss and go, what about that? I remember Shane's face the first time, like he was just
like this.
He was just tutting the whole time. Tutting the whole time. He's just like, fuck's sake.
That's the thing about the whole Louis C.K. thing. Like in all those Me Too movement things, I'm like, you know, was it a sexual assault or were all comedians fucking mental? Yeah. There's no people watch Live at the Apollo now and go, I'm a comedian. But like 20 years ago or 30 years ago, the people that did comedy were all mental.
Yeah.
Not in an evil way, but they're all fucking lunatics.
They weren't right in the head, yeah.
Even now, if you're in a green room full of children, or not children, sorry, comedians, we're all children. You fuck up, right?
I want one of them now.
I want that.
I've just for you.
I mean, if you're in a green room full of comedians, we're all just children.
Do you know actually?
Hyper as fuck.
William, you've got the wee pass, like. You have the past that you could get your balls out in the swimming pool in front of the kids and you would get away with it.
The wee blue badge on it.
Because you're disabled. You know, you brain damage.
Yeah.
So you have the ultimate, like, get out of...
Go to the Ralph Harris Suite, the Shankill Leisure Centre, do whatever you want.
They named it after him.
I went to a water park in Tenerife once and I remember I had a pair of these swimming shorts and I was like, it's got the wee cheese grater fucking pants inside it. It was cutting the dick of me and I was like, I'm just going to cut these out. And they had flames on them too, gangster. And when the first slide I went down, hit the water and bust them open, and I mean like right up the front, and my whole cock and balls was out, and I just had to like put my legs together and like tuck a bit of cloth over it and just walk about the water park all day, like just in the shallow water, like I'm alright. Because I literally just bust, and there's nothing under it now, I just bust it right up the front. It's hilarious. It was basically in two. I should have just took it off and tied it. Cock out.
Oh, fuck me. I can't breathe.
Any other crack?
Any other times you got your dick out? I don't... Who's the most famous person's ever seen your dick?
It's a 25th anniversary, isn't it?
Yeah, 25th. I know. What's it, 6 months we've been doing this?
6 months.
Which is fucking crazy.
And it's mad because...
Are you going to do this every fucking fart's end now? Like 100 or 50?
No,
100,
but I think we wanted to get you on as a guest. But, I mean, I wanted to get you on because I always... Listen, this was the first podcast, and we've talked about it before. Like you doing your podcast was like the
first podcast ever.
Yeah, of anybody.
Yeah. What was the
me, Rogan? What was the first podcast? Well, I remember doing podcasts when the only other one I knew of was ATL, Riggsy's like one through the BBC for like new music.
Like I was listening to your very, very first one when I was like 13, 14.
Was that Audio Picnic? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's been a fucking long time ago.
Yeah. I don't even know how long ago that was. This one's about 8 years old or something.
Is it?
So must be... Like, I the first podcast I ever did, I didn't even do stand-up yet. And I've done stand-up for like 11 years-ish.
Fuck, has it been not long? I'm old.
It'll be 11... Oh, yeah, it'll be 11 years in like
I remember
October.
you doing podcasts when you lived down beside Queen's.
Oh, I did it way before that too.
I know, but I'm saying that's what I remember.
I know it's funny because like at the time it was that wee recorder on like a wee tiny tripod, and I would just sit and talk into it like on the dinner table.
Like that. But I used to listen to him when I was in London. That was my fucking thing, listening to him in London. And then you started doing the Snapchat filters. And then we videos, and it was coming to Easter, and you done one about fucking cutting the grass or something. And fucking in the middle of fucking Tottenham Hill, and everybody around me was fucking not the same colour as me, and I'm fucking laughing my bollocks off in the middle of this shop, and they're all looking at me like fuck, and this guy was just going, man, what the fuck? And I was like, fucking Colin Geddis, funny as fuck. He's just looking at me like going, like, he was near enough saying, you shouldn't be here.
Oh yeah, stop making a scene.
But on top of everything, you're fucking roaring.
I know, that's... Even, like, Maureen goes to me, do you not make me funny videos anymore? And I'm like, because it's not funny. You know, it's like...
past the stage.
It's not, like... Even Snapchat was good for a minute.
I don't know, maybe the BBC would give you a wee show if you thought. Other people seem to be getting shows on BBC for doing Snapchat.
You are on a mission.
What? I'm just saying.
You are on a mission.
Am I going to get sued? Dermot McCord come back from Sweden.
Dear McCord.
What do you say?
You were talking about my potato sketch.
I was on that show in the height of the fucking Barry the Blender shit, because all they wanted really was to put Barry the Blender in the description when you're flicking through on the Sky Guide.
Yep.
So that's what they had, featuring Barry the Blender Henderson.
You done a bit of stand-up in it?
No, I was in it for about 2 seconds.
You're in it with Jackie Fullerton.
No, that was a different...
That was LOL. That was LOL.
That was LOL, yeah. Which was
Get your fucking programs right.
Also
I was a young man at the time.
Yeah. They haven't made anything good yet.
No,
they fucking... It's all shit. And it doesn't matter who does it. If I did it, it'd be shit. It doesn't matter.
it's just what they want you to do.
Yeah. You would go in and they would just be like, we're going to give this to someone who hasn't written anything bar their name their whole life. And they're going to tell you what's appropriate for a fucking 60-year-old housewife in like Cookstown.
And they, well...
It's actually a good sign that they can't use you or don't know who you are.
I can't remember who it was, but they're telling me the story of writing for BBC, and then they wrote the sketch, and the guy was like, now that's very funny. I find it funny. But what would a housewife in Co Island think?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't fucking
When she's shoveling coal in the back of her TV.
Be fucking careful. That's my family fucking places.
Is it?
Yeah. We done a DNA test. My dad's adopted. And it was like, came back and it was like, you're 82% Irish and you're from Coal Island.
Yeah.
That's it, just in here. And you're related to this O'Neill, this Campbell, this fucking... And I was like, how am I related to so many? Oh no, they're different O'Neills, but they are related further back, about 4 generations, but they're not related now when they got to you. So
I sure, like, yeah, my mate Sean is from where is it?
Arbo.
Somewhere down there. And you have to, if you're saying like Campbell's, you have to go, it's Teresa's Campbell's, or you have to like go like 4 generations before that, before you come down to...
And they don't want to know, us. Well, one half don't want to know us, but the other half do, because they didn't know about us.
The funniest, this popped in my head, the funniest thing that was ever filmed was the sketch we did in that bar near where I live.
And it never made it.
I'm going to have to, I said this, when I was actually telling someone about this the other day, I was like, when I die, someone write a letter to BBC and be like, there was a sketch shot for Late License that's the funniest thing that you've ever filmed. Did I ever tell you about that?
I have no idea what this is.
So me and Begley, Begley? My mate Begley? Yeah. We did these country and western characters.
Was it
I can't even remember, Chuck McGinley and the fucking Man Boy or something.
Yeah, that's it.
And I had seen this show that was literally, it was shot in like Ballysally. You remember that fucking thing? And the ma was a nurse, and through stress she'd lost her voice, so the whole time she talked like that. And I was like, I'm just gonna like go, fucking God help her. But she literally just, this woman was like broken and she just couldn't get her voice back. And I did that voice, and we did all these country, like, like how to, I mean, it was actually a bit ahead of its time, because I've seen versions of it a million times where like people are like, oh sure, country songs is only trucks and jeans and fucking, I've seen it loads now. Yeah. But the premise of this was, we'd booked a gig and we turned up and there was no one there. And we're like, well, we sent you posters and all, did you not advertise it? And then you ran the bar, that was your character, and you're like, oh, I did put up the poster. And like, where is it? In the toilets. So all 3 of us are in the cubicle, and I'm like, why the fuck would you put one poster above the toilet? Sure, he's gonna fucking see this. So getting real heated, like back and forward in this argument, and then all you hear is like a piss noise, and I'm like, are you fucking pissing? He goes, well, I'm at the toilet anyway. And and the camera's fucking giving it all this, and we're like shouting at each other and piss flying everywhere, and it was fucking hilarious. And I'm like, I remember saying to Jackie, and he goes, oh, I couldn't give it out, it's not colour graded. And I was like, it was the fucking funniest thing in the whole show. Like,
oh, was this for late license?
Yeah.
Fine.
And they didn't use it, and they wouldn't give me it either.
Because I was in it. I only get stuff for the BBC. I only get stuff for the BBC if I'm on radio, and the part is, can you play a scumbag from West Belfast or working class estate? They'll phone me up and they'll go, here, Paddy, there's this part, and I think you'd be great for it. What is it?
Smackhead from fucking...
Yeah, can you play somebody's working class cousin from the Short Strand?
Like, yes. Everything I've ever been in or done is like, so there's this young man in a tracksuit. That's it. That's all I can fucking do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then there was, I don't know if you remember the bit where the phone rang. Who was it? Was I saying this the other day? And I was telling this. Was it on the podcast or was I just telling you? I said to Niall, it would have been the perfect teaser for this show because, you know, like Begley was on the mic and he was like, ladies and gentlemen, great to be here, blah, blah, blah. And then pan around, there's no one in this bar apart from you. And he did that. And then for real, in real life, the phone rang in the bar and we just let it roll. So I was just about to play and we just sat there and this phone rang for about fucking 2 minutes straight. Just kept going. Got dead awkward and you could see McElroy like laughing a wee bit with the camera. And then eventually it stopped and I just went, 3, 2, 1, and as if to go back into the song. And then I fucking killed myself laughing, but I was like, that's all you needed for the teaser was like just that whole bit. Yeah. 2 minutes and then just like as soon as you go to play it just says like late license, whatever. Where is it? No one fucking knows.
I remember going in one time to read for something for Jackie and he was like, yeah, come down and read these couple of parts, and I went in and the first part was like in a cop shop and I had to answer the phone in the cop shop and I done it and he says, can you do it again? And I done it again and he went, that's dead on, thank you. And I went, was there not 3 other parts you want to read? He says, no, it's grand, that'll do for the day, I'll get you back again. I was sitting me, fuck, what did I do in that to her? I think he must have went, fuck, that's a cop, he can't play a cop.
I know, it's fucking, they wouldn't, it's just not, it's a bad setup. Like, by the time you're in TV for that long, you've totally lost touch with like, what's funny anymore. Yeah. It's very strange.
Because there's so much compromise has to be made.
What will happen is they'll wait until they'll wait until I'm 60 and they'll wait until you and Mickey's 50 and 40 and you're in your 30s and they'll go, here, with this great idea for a show where you're Catholics and you're Protestants. Right?
Yeah.
It's called millennial warfare.
It's called the blocked up hole in the wall.
Filling the hole in the wall.
Crew. Do you reckon? I think it'll be a great idea. Do you want to play it? No.
It's called Give My Head Peace. Aaron McCann's the star. He's had a lobotomy. And we're just trying to fix him, really. That was a terrible idea. No, it's shite. You don't want any part of it. Like,
yeah.
I was talking to a wee girl the other day that was talking about, she's like, I'd love to do this and get into BBC and all. And I was like, don't bother your hole. I was like, just fucking do whatever you want. Do it yourself.
That would be your advice to people, is just do your own shit.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you feel a bit like fucking outside of the loop sometimes, like, but you know, you definitely we went, you're not waiting on anybody to tell you what you can do and what you can't do.
We got invited to the thing writing, and it was through BBC, and it was the comedy unit. I actually get through to
in Scotland.
Yeah, they came over, and the girl was doing this whole thing, this whole spiel about writing, and the whole thing was about him. We want us to do like what this guy's doing, and I went, why is this guy not here? Mm-hmm. And she was like,
when was that?
I told you. It was like, we done this. It was called The Niners. We done it for the BBC, and we done this whole program for the comedy unit, writing sketches, and they picked 9 of us, and we all wrote. McGahey and all was involved in it, but you were the pep talk, and I was like, why don't you
do what Colin? This guy's done? Just fucking be skinned for about 9 years, and then
why don't you just bring Colin down? And she was like, oh, we have spoke to Colin, and I was like, why are you not here?
They don't know what the fuck. This is the problem. Like, they always try and go for like, we got this new experimental show, and you're like, why don't you just deliberately try and make something good instead of half-arsing it and then telling people it's experimental. We've like half-arsed this and then it's shite, and people go, sure, we're just giving them a wee foot in the door.
I just found it dead strange that they were inviting all these people in to write who were comedians or comedy writers and saying, we want you to rate what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I was going, he's done it. Why don't you get him? And even if you don't just want him, get him down and then tell him to tell us what to do. Because if you obviously think he's doing what he's meant to be doing, why don't you go and get him instead of paying 9 of us?
Yeah. They get him in and then be like, do things our way though. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it didn't get made. Do you know what? It didn't get made. So it just seemed to me like it was a big thing for trying to pull in money or using up like a grant.
Using up grants probably.
Yeah. Because it never got made and it never got done.
Because they probably, I mean, there's so many like, you know, there's a lot of producers and stuff where they have to justify their job, so they will. Like I've heard that even in like, things with like music stuff and all, where like people are like, they just have to have their opinion on something. So someone will have a sketch and they go, maybe I would take this out and blah blah blah. They don't know what they're talking about. They're like, take it out, leave it in. They don't fucking know what the difference is. But they have to be like, this passes through my filter. I know the bit. You're like, a really good producer would just be like, you know, I'm sure they get them on like HBO and stuff where they just say to someone like, yeah, I need 12 episodes.
Away you go.
You know, I know that you're fucking, make one pilot for us. Yeah. There's money. And then like go do it yourself.
Even if they really wanted to, why would they not approach likes of you or, I don't know, somebody involved in comedy and say, right, well, he can't be the producer, he can't be the fucking head of comedy. But surely you could be an advisor on what we should, or what road you should be going down. Yeah. Do you know, that there, even alone, if they
I would only do it if I was on a gold throne.
No, but you know what I mean? Even if they were just...
Send them in.
But that's like a consultant, you know, and I've seen like outtakes from stuff that I like, you know, like fucking American stuff or Eastbound and Down or something. Eastbound and Down. And the bloopers are basically a guy with the script. And they're all funny writers and stuff, and they're just like, yeah, do it again with this line. Yeah, and they're like shouting improvised lines at them, which is kind of what comedians do when they're like having the crack anyway. So that's the perfect job. Just be like, say it like this, but and then like, you know, do this, and everyone's laughing, and it keeps getting funnier and funnier.
Yeah.
Instead of 6 months in advance going like, can you write the perfect joke? And then like, how many bits do you write and you think that's funny, and they do it on stage and it takes on another form that you never landed on that.
Yeah.
Sitting on
Tom Stewart does that. He would like invite 6 people to his house and just brainstorm, and they have a whiteboard and all, and fucking just sits and goes, what do you think about this, what do you think about that, and you put your ideas and then everybody gives a wee bit on it and then you talk about it. He does that.
But that's, you know, like comedians should do that a lot more.
Yeah.
It's weird over here because it's small and someone will be like, I give him that line.
Yeah.
But it's worked for like a few people have said a few things to me and I've been like, oh, that is actually good.
Yeah.
You know, me and Mickey are good at it. Like,
yeah. I would say to him, and I don't say to anybody anymore because I get pulled about it one time. People were like, you're a cunt. You just go up to people all the time and go, you should fucking do this, do that. And I went, well, I'm not doing it no more.
Who takes that?
I'm not even going to go and tell it.
I remember Carl Spain doing it to me once, and I'd never met him before, and I was like,
he is a cheeky cunt, though.
He is. He's a cheeky cunt.
You're just out to make enemies.
No, I'm not.
There's going to be some combing through this episode.
No. Honestly, what happened with me? It's not. You go to me. Why you just fucking? I don't make enemies. People aren't nice to me. I'm going to fucking tell the story.
8 years later, you're like, I remember this one time.
A complete cunt to me. Like, it wasn't even, and it fucking backfired completely.
But he is a full wind-up merchant. Like
this wasn't a wind-up.
And he'll do it even if you don't know him. Like
he didn't know me. He just heard of me. And we were in the Davnish, and a guy had booked him and Fred Cook to come up, and I was on, and he came over and he went, "You're Paddy," and I went, "Yes," and he went, "Paddy McDonald," and I went, "Yeah," and he says, "Did you ever think of changing your name?" And I went, "No, that's my name." And he says, "Well, there is a Paddy McDonald." I says, "No, he's Pat McDonald." "Yeah, because that's fucking different." I says, "No, he's in Farted, he's grey hair and he fucking does a big cake." I says, "I think people know the fucking difference." So that was straight away. Then he turned around and went, "I don't even know if you're any good, so you go on in the middle. I know the Fred's good and I know I'm good, so I'll finish it and you go on to start. You can go in the middle. And then if you're shite, then it doesn't really matter because there's been a good start and a good ending." And my mate was standing there and went, "If you don't fucking punch him, I'm going to." Like 4 of my mates are standing in the Davnish going, "This is some cunt coming up from a free state giving you shit." And I went, the only way I can go on and fucking do well. So I went on and smashed the bollocks out of it. It was in the middle of fucking Andytown. Car went on, 45 minutes of fucking agony and pain.
Crowd.
And he's a good comedian, there's no doubt about it, but fuck me, did that backfire?
And you know, it is funny, like, you know, yeah, you don't know what the fucking tone of that was. Probably bad, sounded bad. But he is a fucking, you know, he is like that from the word go when he meets anybody. Is a fucking bit of a slobber, like. But it never stops or changes. You know, that's kind of the way he is.
It's just consistent then.
Yeah.
So he's just a cunt.
But like
he's a cunt in his way.
He's constantly in that, you know, slagging you half the time. You know, I don't think he means it. He's obviously not.
Well, that's my only encounter with him. And
that's what I'm saying. The first time I'd seen him, he was waiting at the side of the stage at Queen's, and he straight away was like, "Oh, you should do this," and all. And I was like, "Who the fuck is it?"
Yeah.
Because he wasn't there when I went on. But he was headlining or something, so I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" But I don't. He probably was joking. You know what I mean? But he's like, fuck, he's not coming back."
He has his address just in case.
No,
I never take it bad when people are like that, because if someone's like, "You should do this," and I don't want to do it, I'll just be like, "I'm it. Cheers for the advice," and just be like, "Not doing that." It
totally depends on who it is.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
You know, if someone's been on before you and they just add shit, and then you come off and they're like, "You know what you should do there? You should throw that." You're like, "Shut the fuck up." But if it's Mickey or something, you know what I mean? Someone says something to you, you're like, "Oh, it will be funny." Like,
yeah.
Me and Mickey do it all the time, where you've got like the seed of a joke, and you 10 minutes before Lavery's, you go, "Is there something funny about this? Well, like, what would you do?" And then he's coming at it, and I've done it with him too, like a fresh set of eyes, and you go, "Oh, that'd be funny if you did
Instead
this."
Of the mansion you're looking
and then
at
you're like, "Yes," and you just write it down, and you know, you're not going to be like, "Can I get the royalties to that?"
Yeah.
You know, but it just depends who it is. But I think he is just a fucking wind up all the time. Like, I don't think he would have fucking came the whole way up there. And
was he lovely to you?
He was very nice to me.
I don't think he'd have went the whole way in the fucking enemy territory there and started being a cunt. Like,
just seemed that way.
You were like, you can go on last and then not leave the building.
He was lucky he had kneecaps before he left. My mates were like, "I can't believe he's talking to you like that." You know, it was like, and I was like, this isn't just some punter in a bar where I can fucking headbutt the cunt, like, you know what I mean? If I headbutted him, that would have been like way spread. Like, I thought it was bad Al Porter were fingering people. Fuck, it would have been bothering me. Fucking headbutting parts, man.
I wonder if people do any jokes about that. You know, it seemed to be a very.
I did at the start, and I remember Pat Egan sent me a message and was like, "Paddy, I really appreciate it if you didn't post about it." And I went, "I'm a fucking comedian," and I stayed in his house, and I never came near me.
Just jealous.
Just jealous. Yeah. Just like, what the fuck?
Shane got worn like a fucking oven glove.
Did Shane stay with him too?
No, he didn't stay with him, but did they not play some charity football match somewhere and he fucking frisked him a wee bit?
Did he? He was Shane's definitely his type.
That's a tough word to say. Frisked. Yeah. I was just checking for your balls. Oh.
Shane, have you ever heard about the thing in the pantomime? He's behind you.
Shane's like, stop.
And Al Porter, if he had been around in the 60s, would have been in the Carry On movies. Like, you know what I mean? It would have been fine back then, but now it's like, no.
But it's that raging, sweaty, fucking coked up, aggressive gay dude I'm talking about. You're like,
exactly.
Will you fucking sit down?
Yeah.
Just sit down, chill out.
He's coming in there,
we don't need to be fucking
like when people said
grabbing dicks around
what was he like? And I was like, he just seemed like a horny gay kid to me. That was genuinely
just settle down. Like,
yeah, because like I played with him in the Comedy Cellar, and he came up to me and he went, "Do you know where you're staying? I've met this one here, and I'm gonna go and fuck him. Like, if I could fuck him now in the toilets, I'll do it." You know, that was his fucking. He was just a wee raging horny, and he had done well.
Just a wee horn dog.
Like. Yeah, and I was just laughing. And I was going like, if that was a fella with a girl, and he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was having a drink with him when I left the place, and then came back in about 3 o'clock in the morning. Man, smell him. No, he didn't.
Pleasure. I'm trying to wank in your front room here.
Why is my dad beside you? That's at your dad. I thought that was Carl Spain.
I'll go on in the middle.
I know he's good, and I know he's good.
I'll suck you off in the middle. See what happens.
You should do yes.
Yeah. Any sugar in this house? Unbelievable. Yeah, we'll have to put this podcast will end up being about 12 minutes long.
They go to me all the time. Fuck's sake, I just talk.
I know you.
I mean, there is you know, people talk about, like, you know, toxic masculinity and men get treated different and all that. There was a weird hush thing about that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's like, "Oh, I'm not touching that with a fucking with a barge pole. That topic."
Why?
Maybe don't fucking grope people. No, I mean, it's like chat shit, get banged, bro. No, I mean.
I'm getting one. I'm fucking getting one.
We need to update the fucking. I want machine gun fire. What else is good?
No surrender!
That one. Your woman through the fucking door.
We need to get a Bryson speech.
I want a kebab. Do you remember her outside Labyrinth? I just want a kebab.
Talk about fucking zombie strength. Smashing that door, like, and the guy just working there, like, fuck off, bang.
I feel so bad for any fast food worker that works in somewhere at like 3 a.m. They must deal with some fucking chaos, like.
When I delivered Chinese's, I got this same house in Beachmount. We're phoning up, so they ordered a fried rice at like 8 o'clock, and I went down. It was a party happening.
Just one fried rice.
Just the one fried rice, and you know shit was going down, but it was just the one fried rice, you know. There was maybe another delivery driver that sold drugs or something. I don't know. But when I turned up, they were disappointed.
At that point, you're like, why bother with a fried rice?
You know, I turned up and they were like,
there's 2 bags of cat and a fucking whatever, and like, have you got the rice? I do.
You know, was that the cold one? We're having the party. Because I remember going down, they were all like partying, and they're all looking out from the living room at me, and they were like, and he's like, has anybody got money for this rice? And I was going, what the fuck are they ordering just a rice for, you know? And they were a bit disappointed. And then it was like 2:30 in the morning. The wee Chinese mom was like, I have a delivery for Beach Mom. Do you want to take it? And I was like, fuck's sake, I will be closed by the time you come back. Yeah. He was a wee tiny Chinese guy. He's called Knee High. And
fuck's sake.
So he was
we're
like,
down to 16 minutes.
if you pay me now, and then that'll be it. I was like 37 quid. So I gave him the 37 quid for it, and then I was getting 40. So it was 250 I was making out of it, but I'd give him 37 quid, and I get down, and they were all in the party laughing like fuck, and I banging the window, and they were all laughing, and they were going, no, the old, be quiet, those early, be quiet, he's at the door, and I'm banging the door, and I'm, yes, fucking bastards, I paid for this fucking thing, it's better fucking come out, and they wouldn't come out, so then I went, fuck it, I started opening things, curry, fucked it through the window. I fucked it in there, right? So the next day I turned up the Chinese and I had tied the bag back up again. It was missing about 3 cartons. And the wee Chinese man went, you bastard! You fuck Chinese through windows!
He didn't say fuck Chinese.
He did.
You fuck Chinese through windows, you dirty bastard!
I got phone call. Everyone know in street now. Freddy's Kitchen fucking bastard driver. And here's me, you better give me a 37.50. Fuck you. Hear me, no, fuck you. I was going to go down and rack the house in Beachmount. It was like a work for nothing that night, you know what I mean?
Oh, Christ. I'd have just sat in the car and had it. All sad.
You get a free meal, so it's not even like, I don't even like eating out of it.
Oh my God. Oh,
you're just gonna have to cut this episode like The Sopranos. Just cut the black.
It just starts with hello, and then it's just a load of sound. Like a fawn shop.
Would you
did you just get fawn shops? You never would have got a fawn shop down where you live, did you?
What do I mean, like a
mobile shop?
Selling vegetables, no? That's
no,
shit.
It sold sweets, figs.
Well, this guy sold everything. This guy had fucking like a greengrocers in it, and figs and sweets and.
It's like you'd be sitting in your granny's and they all had different horns, and there were certain ones you would use, like Mooners or fucking Dackies or Big Frankies, or I'm not using Big Frankies, he's a dirty big bastard. I seen him sucking the fucking the Skittles and putting them back in, all that sort of shit was told. So, but they all had different horns.
Urban legends.
So you had one that used to come around that was an old mobile library, and it went. Where's the fawn shop? Quick.
The library's here, Mum.
You would go out
to get.
You go out to get your mum. Go out and get such and such. I need change for a bus a mile for you all to go to school. And you would come back in with fireworks, and she would go, "What the fuck?" And be like, "I sell fireworks." And then, he'll not have any. He was telling me he wouldn't have any, ma. Did you spend my fucking
Frankie
money?
licks all the fireworks.
Fucking bad fireworks on there.
He licks all the bangers. No matter.
The fawn shop, the shit you bought in the fawn shop was unreal.
No, we did get them.
Yeah,
but there was one fella just that it was like Tesco's on a fucking. There was everything in it.
Everything in it.
Yeah,
that was a real proper fucking.
Oh, it was immaculate. Like, it was good shit.
Milk, bread, and fucking figs. Figs that turned your lips blue. We couldn't even read the carton. Are you sure they're bad? And had this on.
Fresh burst. Aye. made your lips blue? Like over 30 years and you die of a heart attack, or like immediately?
Like fucking after second fig.
You know it's bad. You know it's bad when you can buy one at a time.
There was
singles.
There was figs at the there was figs that sold them
6 figs.
What I used to do, my ma used to make me a lunch because my dad worked. We didn't get free lunches, right? So my ma used to make me a lunch, and it was like 2 tins of Coke, sandwiches, yogurt, fucking apple, banana, blah blah blah, right? But I had a fucking nicotine habit, so what I would do is on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I would
smoke a banana.
I would sell my lunch, like individually, you know. So like, and it was all multi-pack. So it says multi-pack, do not be sold separately, right?
Do not sell for figs.
Well, I used to sell my lunch and get like 2-3 quid, and then bought 10 figs. 10 figs were like 90p.
Wow.
And then what I would do is bring them into school and then sell individual figs for like 50p.
That's a pyramid scheme.
Right? So it was like constant.
That's
and then what you would do is you'd work up till the weekend. So not only would you have your figs for school, you would also have your money for a carry at the weekend. Do you know what I mean? So it was like entrepreneurial skills. Yeah. And
like
if
Jesus was alive and fucking
like the careers teacher was like, Paddy McDonald, you're never going to be anywhere. And I was like,
turn this bread into fucking...
I think I just find that I have fucking made myself $17.50 this week.
Incredible.
And a bottle of cider's only fucking £1. Glass bottle, you know what I mean?
When was this, the 30s?
Teachers like this is a primary school, this is fucking ridiculous.
Do you know another thing I used to do? I lined my pocket with tin foil. So when the teachers came, you were smoking, you just dropped your fig into it and it didn't burn.
Stinking in a cloud of smoke, but you're like,
it was like,
I don't see one.
Do you know, it was like,
I don't see it. Like fucking stars in your eyes.
The PJ with meter sticks, the constant of the running. We had these things called the ducks, and it was like underneath the school, and they were called the ducks because you ducked into it, and it used to be like old storerooms, and all the doors were taken off it, so it was just all free, and we all stood in there smoking. And there was this teacher called Jesus, basically because he had long hair and a fucking beard, and was like a karate fucking expert, and he had a meter stick.
as Jesus traditionally was.
He used to run in from one side to the other, beating the bollocks out of kids with a meter stick, and he fucking enjoyed it too much. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But it was,
put a glove on and all.
He was like, can't wait to win the ducks here.
Quoting the Bible as he does it.
Tape it off his stick.
But I get fed up, and I went, fuck this, because he hit me across the legs, and it was that bad of a hit. I was cut on both legs, like 2 big fucking marks. He hit me seriously because I didn't get up and run.
You just took one for the team,
and it was sore as fuck, and I didn't want to cry in front of everybody, but seriously wanted to cry.
Yeah.
So I fucking went home, and when I seen my legs that night in the house, I went, fuck that, I'm not, like, you know,
not taking that.
Yeah. So I stole a meter stick out of it, but it was a big fat one. And I had it, and I says to the lads, right.
You know, the one that you, like a baseball meter stick?
It was the one that had the handle in the middle that you could hold it to mark the board. So it was a big
3-wood?
It wasn't, no, it was thicker. It wasn't a thin one that he used. Like, he used this wee fucking thin.
You know those meter sticks that are sharpened up one side?
It was like jail. I done it up like a shaft. But I says to all the boys, right, see when he runs in, I'm going to turn the corner, come in behind him. So like 30 people knew what was happening. And then he runs into the ducks. Everybody runs out from school, 500 kids. And I come in behind him, and he's standing like out with a meter stick, and everybody's staring. And he's sort of looking like, what the fuck is everybody staring at? And I come up behind him and fucking clean over his legs. And as soon as I done it, my balls dropped. Like, I fucking went, what do you do now? And he just dropped to the ground and sort of went, fuck, it was sore. Like, I fucking I run home, couldn't breathe, get into the house. And my dad was like, what's the fucking matter? And I was like,
I just killed Jesus.
Jesus was on his knees up in the school, and my dad was like, what?
First crucifixion now, this.
I hit him with a meter stick. And here's my dad. What do you mean you had a teacher? I had a teacher. Oh, for fuck's sake, my ma come in. He's had a teacher. No, we're going to have him in. My ma, what'd you do that for? And he, what did he see? And I pulled down the trousers, showed my legs, and my ma went, I'll fucking, you had him, I'll fucking knock his ballock.
I thought this was just a long prank for you to be like, there's my balls.
So my ma get into the car, and we're up to the school. I remember walking in, and the headmaster and the secretary standing there, and the secretary's like, that poor man's lying in there. You want to see the state of his legs? Like, your son, that man's in his 60s, and your son hit him.
That man's 2,000 years old.
That's the son of the Lord. You've done that too now.
And my ma says, is that right? Well, when you see my son's legs, and I remember, take your trousers down. I remember the Christian brother, like the headmaster going, go and take them down. yeah, Patrick, let me see.
Like this slipping off.
Can you bend over legs and see? And then when I showed my legs, they were like, oh.
Yeah.
And my mum was like, yeah, it was done yesterday.
Yeah.
So this is why he done it. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll cancel the cops coming up for my son.
Yeah.
And I'll cancel the cops coming up for him.
Yeah.
And we'll call it quits.
Yeah.
And everybody
We'll have the rematch next Friday.
See, when I walked into the yard at lunchtime, everybody went, yeah, I'm fucking banging the windows now. Somebody lit a bin on fire, and I was like, what the fuck? The teacher was like, there's going to be an apocalypse. When they stopped, it was like,
the
I couldn't
uprising.
believe it. Everybody was like, fucking how'd you get back in? Oh, that was fucking amazing and all. Here's me. Fuck, I don't know. And then it was like brought in their room. You're not allowed to talk about it. And I was like, how are you not talk about it? Like,
Too late.
let's talk about it. You know, let's all get it out of here. Intervention. But fucking, I hit him some fucking.
Did you ever see Jesus again, or was that the end of his teaching career?
He comes to me in the middle of the night. He goes, Patrick, you hurt my legs.
My legs was racked.
He's probably fucking dead now.
I think he was 60 at the time.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
Join us next week, folks.
Funny reminiscences about more dead teachers he's assaulted.
Jesus, what a nickname! Like,
Is that the only teacher you've hit?
no. But there's a difference. The other ones,
Sorry, we're going to ignore that Vietnam
other ones-
flashback you had there.
the other ones were after school finished. Do you know what I mean? It was like, here, do you remember that kid? And I was doing the door, and they were drunk. But that's a long story. We'll not go on that one because it was. Do you remember I was 14 and you bit the cunt out of me? Well, look at me now.
Uh-oh.
Fucking Kill Bill with all your old teachers.
Yeah.
All the
That
rest of them
noise.
are sound.
Can't hear them. How long have we been talking now?
1 hour.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's up to you boys, whatever you
Up to
want to
you.
do.
I'm having fun, like, with a few guys.
I'm easy.
I just like to go home before half.
What time is
Quarter past.
it? So unless you, supposedly wrap it, or do you
Yeah,
have any more?
yeah, no, we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
How do you normally wrap it up?
Wrap it up. We normally just look at the camera and speak awkwardly. So this was episode 25,
For this one,
Swapcast.
for this one, we're going to have to say, if you've been a teacher and affected by any past pupils attacking you, please contact us.
Contact Paddy's mom.
If you were a teacher and you assaulted me when I was younger, I know where you live.
I was expecting you to say, your mom was like, come here, I fucking, get laid into it a bit here and just really make it look bad.
Oh, my ma.
Before going into the school.
She didn't need to. It was fucking pretty bad. Like.
What are we talking? Like, what did it look like?
Just purple, probably.
It was purplely bruised below it, but the top bit where he hit me, it obviously had like a fine ledge, and it had cut the leg, like sliced the leg. Both legs were sliced at the top.
It is mental you were just allowed to fully bait children.
I know.
My ma told him to bait him. So my ma didn't even have a leg to stand on. My ma was a teacher and went to my schools and went, if he fucks about, beat the fuck out of him. And she'll admit that.
Yeah.
So I said to her, you've no leg to stand on. She went, I meant with her hands, not with a fucking
Put the brass
deadly
knuckles
weapon.
on. Don't be fucking whipping them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
A punch in the face of a child is one thing. A ruler to the back of
Breaking
the
his
legs.
nose. Yeah,
You can
yeah.
slip a finger up him, but don't be fucking racking his legs.
Is he supposed to go to the shops for me?
The fawn shop, Frankie's fawn shop.
Dirty big boy. Sucking all the
Frank-
individual skittles.
Frankie,
What a dump.
Do you sell any meter sticks
Got Catherine wheel.
with nails in it? Did you have any fawn shops in Tullycarnet?
All I can think of is like the pokey that would.
You probably weren't allowed out. You can't.
Why?
Cause
Cause I'm disabled.
What?
Cause I'm disabled.
you just seemed to me like you lived a sheltered life. Like somebody else was sent to the shop, not you.
No, I was. I grew up in a different time from you. Do you know what I mean? The troubles were over when I grew up. Do you know what I mean? We stopped baiting children as much. Well, we did have the pokey who would sell everything.
The pokey.
Pokey.
The pokey.
The van shop.
I've never heard the term van shop. Like,
Yeah.
No.
It's a very imaginative term. It's a van, it's a shop. Van shop.
Well, technically, it was a fucking library turned into a shop on wheels.
yeah.
Wasn't even
These
a
books
van.
aren't selling too well right here.
Do figs and black cats. There we go.
Do you want any fireworks? It's February, I know, but get them now.
There'll be a shortage.
A shortage. Can I have 2 dub-dobs, please?
No, the only one I remember is we were getting served the pokey and just 2 lads pulling up in a car, pulling the pokey out and beat the fuck out of them for selling figs to kids. That's the only notable thing ever happened.
Yeah.
That's it. No, I mean.
So paramilitaries were like,
yeah.
You didn't pay your money this week for knocking flakes out, you cunt. We told you early those these screwballs are fucking straight.
They're like, don't you're damaging kids, ignoring the fact they're just curb stomping them in front of the children.
Paramilitaries, if we had a technically done podcast during the Troubles, we could have been sponsored by them.
Really?
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Keep the lights on. Yeah. Keep the building safe.
You're sponsored by them whether you want it or not. Do you know what I mean?
We would have made a fucking fortune too.
Jake, so?
Oh, absolutely.
Maureen's dad was telling me they were on a site once and, you know, the boys came down like looking a bit of protection money. And they're like, well, what can you do? Like, fucking gotta do it. Handed it over. And sure enough, some fellow sat there like watching the site nearly every night.
Yeah.
And then at Christmas bought them all Thornton's chocolates.
That's a nice paramilitary.
I know, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, over
cheers for the business, guys. See you next year.
Over in Ardoyne, they were building houses on the interface.
The Rad just gave us chocolates. That lovely.
There was one who was an ex-paramilitary from Ardoyne, right? And he worked this side of the site. And then they had one from Glenbryn, and he had been in for the largest paramilitaries, and they worked on that side of the site, right? And we were there one day and they brought in like sheets of insulation and the 2 of them were lifting them and they're dead light, even though they were 8 before. But the 2 of them were carrying it together. And I went, what are they going to do when they get the middle? Because he's not allowed over. And he's not allowed over. So they got the middle and they were like, do you want to go and get somebody to help you? Like there was an actual border between it, even though it wasn't marked out. But he wasn't allowed onto that side and he wasn't allowed on that side.
Pitch at the BBC. That'll be made tomorrow.
Yeah. Building over the bridge, or is it what the fuck would it be called?
True North.
True North.
Building bridges.
Building bridges. Building barriers.
Or they'll get a local comedian and you can play both parts. The camera will just go from that side to that side. He'll have an earring in and he'll be wearing a Celtic top. Yeah. We're really
Our budget today is 20 quid.
Need you bring your Celtic top from home? Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I have one and an earring. Oh my god.
But yeah, no thanks for.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us over.
No problem at all. He's got to do a live podcast at some point.
We have one
sold out.
Oh, you do?
Limelight 1.
Oh, fuck, are you going?
Civil War.
Mm-hmm. We called it Civil War because we didn't have a podcast.
The podcast was made to support
the Civil War. We done the podcast to sell the show. So we decided to do a show.
Yeah.
And then
like
we started
just stand up initially?
A show together.
Yeah.
And then I had fucking sold out the Limelights, and then I was doing Ulster Hall, and he was like, do you still want to do this? And I went, yeah, fuck it, I said I would do it with you. So we booked the Limelight to do that, and I says, we'll start a podcast to fucking promote the gig, and it fucking took off.
And here we are, just getting abuse from strangers at 3 a.m. It's great, living the dream.
Yeah.
Lethal. Good
yeah,
times.
It's went downhill. So we're only 25 episodes in, but it's really went downhill from the start.
Yeah. Big boom at the start.
Big fella from Carrickford was like, I liked it when Paddy was a wee bit more fucking telling us what way them opinions really are, but I don't like it now where they just sit and talk bollocks.
It's like the views haven't gone down or anything, or the ratings haven't gone down, but it's like I've just decided. I like that one story.
I've picked a side now. I've actually picked a side.
They'll be like, I like that one story you did. If you could make the podcast just variations of that.
Paddy, are you going to have any other presence on this, or just the one?
But actually, we says we're going to talk about it, right? The comedian I get asked the most about is you.
Okay.
Right? And they always say it. They always go to me. You're more fucking
Bar. It's always bar.
No, it used to be. They know his name now. Your big man, Colin Geddis, like, he must be a... I'm like, what? And they're like, he must be a...
Trans.
And I was like, a what? And they're like, he must be a fucking snoot, like, is he?
The fuck's a snout?
A Protestant.
Oh, right.
Or they'll say a prod or a hun, right? And I'd be like, funnily enough, now that you mention it, he's actually Jewish, and they're like, fucking do it.
I'm probably more Jewish than I am fucking.
He says, I fucking knew there's something about him, something about him.
Something about him.
What about him? And they're like, because he doesn't talk about what he is.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's because I really talk about what I am.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't, they're intrigued.
I remember being younger, going on their I Am Fighter videos, and beneath the people quoting it, there would just be people like, Barry's a prod, or Barry supports Rangers. Like, Barry's not real.
I mean, for a long time, it was just like, where's he from? That's all people needed to know.
Yeah.
Because we'd mentioned a few places. Like, even that accent was so vague and had bits of fucking everything. And, you know, and then didn't mention loads of places, so people were just like, where's he from? And like, who gives a fuck? Like,
But here they're really, like, sometimes just under our video, you'll go be like, why do we have 70 comments under this? And someone's just started a full sectarian argument underneath it. No relevance to the podcast.
The best one was I got contacted on a Saturday night. It was like, here, mate, I'm a drug dealer from the Shankill. I'll pay you £1,000 if you come up and just tell me and my girlfriend's stories now. You should be safe as fuck. I'll send you a text.
That's a dude wants you to fuck his girlfriend. That's Al Porter.
imagine that. You're just in the middle of a story. He's like, Paddy, how long are we second? I need a piss here. Just stop right there. And you're just waiting in the living
She's in
room.
a dressing gown.
Yeah.
Basic instinct.
Do you want a pack of crisps, Alan? I'm alright.
Do you want me a cup of tea or something?
I'm alright. I have to finish this up before Gogglebox. Go ahead.
A wee Chinese in there, a couple of chicken balls. You want me to heat it up for you?
known loyalist Colin Geddis.
No one noticed, yeah. I knew it. Fucking knew it.
But it's funny, like where I grew up, which was like literally between like Rathfern and Monkstown. Mm-hmm. Very loyalist areas.
Yeah.
But then I went to school in Ballyclare, which I know is a proddy town.
Yeah.
But it's the country, like.
Yes.
And then, unless your school is like a Catholic school and it's hammered into you, it's just school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no fucking, like,
Yeah.
I don't feel any sort of pull either way.
You'd have had like one song in assembly in my school, but that's it.
Yeah, but I already hated
I know,
fucking
but the
church.
size, is,
Yeah.
the size is a terrible song for to have in your school.
Billy
Stand
Boys
up.
has done.
Penny Arcade.
But like, there was not, you know, I never, no one in my family went to fucking church or what, like,
There was no denomination,
generations
yeah.
way back in Armagh somewhere. My great granda was like a orange man, apparently.
Yeah.
But that was it. No one,
That's
everyone
it.
was just,
They'll go down.
everybody was,
Fucking knew it.
but everyone, you know what I mean? It was just like, what's that Theo Vaughan joke? He goes, the religion or the race was poor.
No.
That was like, that's what the fuck,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like, none of that. And then you go to uni and it doesn't matter what the fuck you are, it leaves you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then I just have never give a fuck about it at all. Even though, you know, you go down the streets, fucking Union Jacks and big fucking skulls with, you know what I mean? It's all going on, but like,
Yeah, because that's
dunno.
my thing, was like I never really cared, but where I was, it was like
Yeah.
so fucking intense.
exactly. But then I don't give a fuck. Like, it's, you know.
Not like you big sectarian bastard.
Yeah. I'm a product of my society.
Now look at my
You
dick.
can't get brought till the fucking long cash every Saturday and that fucking. Do you know what I mean? Why am I getting took here? Because it's your family are in jail and you're going to see them. Right, okay. Didn't know any difference until I went to America, and I was like, oh, fuck, we really lived in a fuck up society. Like.
Aye.
And people over there didn't even know where we were. Thought we were Scottish
away?
or something.
Good man.
Jailer show.
He's away on. He's had enough.
Had enough. I thought he was away already.
No, I don't. I
What time
just
is it?
fucking can't be
need-
arsed.
You want to head?
Yeah, wrap it up. I'll go.
Yep.
I'll leave my own office.
That's what I'm saying. We'll all happen. See you later. We'll
This
all
is you
come
getting
in.
affected, by the way.
Aye.
Carl Spain sent me up to take over.
I'm gonna get a fucking kneecap with a meter stick after this. It's mine now.
We're getting there.
Cheers for having
We're
me, guys.
fucking
No
getting
problem.
there.
Thank you very much, mate.
Yeah, thanks
Great
for having us
episode.
up. Really appreciate it.
Congrats.
Yes,
On
on
the
the
25th
25.
episode.
25. Oh my god.
I don't
Can't
know
believe
anything
it.
I have.
Here's the 25 more.
See you at 50.
Montage of all clips. Memories.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All the best.